quite aside from being evil, I long ago noticed that you had many more friends if you were unhappy. Cynicism and hostility have the vast majority of people in their clutches. I particularly remember when I was straddling the worlds, living weekends and holidays in therapy groups and spiritual retreats, while maintaining a normal life appearance in conformist workplaces, that I would be ridiculed for my part-time aspirations to spiritual awakening. When I became a therapist, it got worse. I remember one young girl, a receptionist in an office I worked in, greeting me with great sarcasm. "Hi, Richard. Good morning. Won't you please help me find myself?" she said. Cynicism is based on a certain kind of contempt, distrust, frustration, hostile self-protection, doubt, resentment, and disillusionment. It is a kind of anger. When you step outside of the crowd mentality, you suffer ostracism and rejection. It has caused many to renounce their inner work and crawl back under the boulder of conformity and be ground down under the overriding wheels of belonging and group acceptance. Try it. Things haven't changed much. Find some group of acquaintances or even folk you don't know. Tell them something positive. Tell them how great everything is, how successful you're being. Watch their response. Now change the game. On another occasion, bring up a disaster, some death, an accident, the tsunami, cancer. Weave in a little drama, some shock, scandal, controversy, or something offensive. The likelihood by far is that the energy for the negative disaster story will far outweigh the energy of the response to the positive one. Conclusion, people are more interested, more invested, enthused and supportive towards negative dramas. They want it to be all going wrong. They want you or somebody else to be struggling to elicit their sympathy, their sentimental engagement, and their regrets. But underneath, they're drawn in the same morbid way as we are to the scene of a bloody accident, to the disaster scenario. This is because it supports their essentially negative position about life, their distrustful, cynical position. It supports the sneering disbelief in the integrity of human beings and in life itself. It's merely a form of anger, an illusion of being in control. When I was in my 20s, I lived in London, England. I don't know how it is now where you live, but in London in those days, we practiced a certain kind of alienation or isolation in public. Perhaps we all do it in big cities. Perhaps the alternative to caring for each other and accepting each other is just too much to bear. We would sit on underground trains, subways and buses, in public places with dead eyes, the bodies flaccid and an appearance of negative disengagement. You could imagine you might die from a heart attack or have a fit and lie on the ground frothing at the mouth, and no one would give a second glance. Nowadays, I live in the wonderful brightness of nature, surrounded by mountains and water, nature, flowers, green trees, and animals. When I go to the city, it takes me about an hour to feel oppressed, and I long for the space and the wonder of my home, where I can walk out of my front door and gaze in awe at the natural world, the sky, the light, magnificent views of the ocean, the hills and the glades, where I can smell the flowers, hear the sounds of the goats, the gurgling streams, and be in the stillness and silence.